I always point out the date when we talk about COVID-19. It is June 15th that we're recording this, and this will go live in July. So anything that happened after June 15th, we don't know about. So that's why we're not commenting on it. The aliens landed on the 20th. We had no idea. June 15th, it hadn't happened yet. But how do you foresee this impacting publishing and, more important, publicity going forward for authors? What are your predictions, knowing that nobody knows everything that's going to happen?
Yes, indeed. Oh, isn't that a big one? I feel like we could talk for a whole 2 hours about this one, because I certainly do have a lot of theories. Prediction number one, books are currently being made culturally, socially, entertainment-wise relevant again in a way that I feel that they sort of haven't necessarily been in the age of social media and Netflix and all of these alternative forms of entertainment. Both anecdotally and statistically, I think more people are reading than ever. Reading has sort of regained its footing as like a pastime and something that's sort of a simple pleasure that can be done in isolation and solitarily. And I think people are really rediscovering some of the joys of solitary enjoyments like reading. So I'm very optimistic about the future of books and literacy and reading post-pandemic. I hope that it's something that stays with us, and I suspect that it will be. We go through these waves culturally, and I really am feeling like on a number of levels, the sort of wave of the short attention span is coming to an end, and people are more interested in like long form storytelling and entertainment, where books are perfect. I see increased emphasis on ebooks and audiobooks, which, we're already seeing. But I think as COVID-19 does what it's going to do, and, we're going to see what happens in the coming months, that brick and mortar retail and that even like shipping are becoming less essential in a way that we sort of previously maybe perceived them to be, where, prior to this, it was like, oh, well, if I can't get it shipped with Prime in, 24 hours, then I don't even want it. People are sort of adjusting to things taking a little longer. But with publishing, we have this enormous benefit and other angle, which is the fact that we have instant delivery digital formats of work available. So I do see a surge in that area. I think also that my final prediction, and this sort of has more to do with marketing and publicity, is that while this has been a very challenging and stressful time in many ways, it's also brought about some sort of overdue changes and modes of thinking or doing when it comes to promoting or marketing a book. For a long time, those of us on the front lines of publicity and marketing have known that digital media and virtual events and podcasts are the way of the future and are really essential, valuable ways to connect with audiences that have nowhere near the overhead or sort of level of difficulty that coordinating, some of the more old-fashioned forms of publicity, like a physical book tour or, bookstore events or trade shows. Like, we've known for a while that those things don't really have as much bang for their buck as they used to. But I feel that there's been a lot of resistance over the years, and it's like, but this is the way we've always done things. This has thrown that on its head, and it's forced every publisher in the world every author to get creative and to try new things just out of sheer desperation, where previously, they didn't want to do Facebook Live events, for example. Now everyone's doing a Zoom, everyone's doing a crowdcast, everyone's doing a Facebook Live. And what we're discovering is these are amazing ways of bringing together readers and authors and getting the word out. And they have eliminated physical borders and boundaries. Now it doesn't matter if the author lives in Nebraska, but most of their readers are in Portland. The web really does take down borders. So I do see increased opportunities for sort of new modes of thinking and new models of doing things, more emphasis on social media, virtual events, less emphasis on the sort of old-fashioned way of launching a book.